We are part of the Fired Up Sports Network of shows. Please check out other Fired Up Sports Network podcasts like the P-Lot Pod, Water Cooler Talk, Bell Smashers, Philly Sports Love and Pain, Drunk on Broad, Beer Battered Sports, and the Fired Up Sports Show, which are available on all major podcasting hosting sites and social media. Also, check out Mark Ramos' Roundup on firedupsports.com, which breaks down the happenings going on with all your favorite local teams.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions.
Eagles! Swinging a miss, stuck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. The Flyers win the Stanley Cup for the lead. Yes!
Iverson, wow, what a fake off Daniels as he broke his ankles and got all the way to the cup.
Let's go!
It feels great to be undefeated because that's what we are. What's going on, guys? How's things?
Going down to Brazil,
But
taking care of business.
the business was given.
Yeah.
It was what a game. What a fun.
Like, listen, I had really bad flashbacks of really bad field surfaces and big games. Something was making me look up really angry videos about the Sod Father. And, but listen, all things considered, the field surface sucked. We'll get that out of the way. That was fucking terrible. Rich, we're going to go back to last week's show. There's absolutely no fucking reason to play a game in a soccer stadium.
Yeah.
Where the field inevitably always looks like shit.
Yeah.
But we got a W.
We got the W.
It started off.
Rough.
That first quarter was not pleasant, but and the anxious feelings about how the season ended last year, and
Yeah.
just even seeing glimpses and shades of that was like enough to like make me pace and check social media frantically. But everything kind of settled out. Everything kind of leveled out.
Yeah.
And they figure out a way to navigate through a lot of lead changes and end up with a really impressive win. And I gotta say, this is the first time I'm donning the Saquon Barkley, Kelly Green. I had to, based on his performance, his opening performance.
Was
3 touchdowns, should have been 4.
Should have been 4.
Shades of the TO 3 touchdown debut.
That was awesome.
Man, it was like getting an old friend back.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm sorry. Oh. Yes. Man, it was one of those games that I watched, and like you said, shades of last season. I was like, oh God, like this can't be how it starts. But man, the defense clamped it up. You know, after the 2 early turnovers, you know, the defense clamped up, and that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see how this defense would react, especially to some adversity, and they were, you know, given the ball with a short field, and they made some pivotal stops. And I'll tell you what, man, Bond is a fucking tackling machine. Holy!
Yeah, they saw something in him that obviously no one else saw, but he was an animal all over the field. 15 tackles.
It was insane. And I was sitting there and I'm like, fucking Christ, linebackers who can tackle. This is like a brand new defense. Quinyon Mitchell looked awesome. Like I looked like a rookie, but I mean, he looked awesome. It was
Pause for a second. He looked like a man. Like he looked like he was a 5-year vet, locking down the best dude talking shit on the first fucking play where they go at him in the end zone, got in the dude's face. Like, you got a dude who's going to lock down the NFC East. I can't wait to see, he's going to match up against Drake London this week, but the game where he's going to be in a position pretty soon where he's going to just line up against the best dude every week.
It's going to be
even though the Giants suck and the Giants quarterback sucks, I'm curious to see and excited to see the matchup when if he lines up against Malik Neighbors and just to see those two go at it for the next 10 years.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see. And watching the game, the early turnovers, I was like, fuck, man. Like, this can't be it. Like, this can't be happening again. But like you said, they settled down. They came into their own. They found the running game. I'm still not a fan of Ertz audibling out and doing his runs. I don't see a point for it. Toward the end of the game, because, everybody's expecting pass, like, he gets away with some. Like, he'll rush for like 10 yards. But like in the game, like, I really want to get away from that. Like, I love the fact that he uses his legs, but at the same time, you have way too many weapons to be putting yourself in harm's way. Or on 2nd and 2, doing an option and then falling a half yard behind the line of scrimmage. Like, that's the stuff I don't really want to see anymore. I love the motion that we saw. I love Devontae Smith playing in the slot. He just looks like a fucking man. A.J. Brown looked like a fucking man, just telling Jair Alexander hold my dick as he just took off. It was awesome. Like, it was one of those games where I watched and, the offensive line play early, Juergens early, it was kind of It wasn't where I would like it to be, but this is what you get for not playing preseason. I mean, same thing with Huff was barely on the field, which was worrisome to me, and he didn't really make an impact. And
he looked like the 4th best guy. But I mean, listen, he got outplayed by Brandon Graham, and Brandon Graham is on his farewell tour.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to get every ounce of Brandon. They're going to squeeze every ounce of juice out of Brandon Graham.
Hey, man, I'll fucking take it. And
yeah, seriously.
It's just Huff needs to figure it the fuck out. If he's going to be on the field, I get he sucks at stopping the run, but like, we got to unleash him. Like, he can't be any worse than Hassan Reddick was. Like, unleash the guy and let's see what he can do. The raw power you saw from Jalen Carter, just bodying guys, is what you'd love to see, but the attitude needs to stop. He's going to take unnecessary penalties because teams are going to go at him. They know he's a hothead. Teams are going to do that. They're going to go at him. He's going to get stupid penalties. We can't have him be Derek Barnett 2.0. He's way too good for that. He needs to be better. And Jordan Davis looked good. Somebody at work told me that Jordan Davis looked like a bust. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what were you watching? Some of the plays that he made were taking on a defender and then one hand shoving Josh Jacobs to the ground. I'm like, what are you talking about? He looks like a bust.
Good. He's thing that people that to me, Rich, says, like, I'm not watching the game. I'm not dialed in to anything other than the box score. Yeah. Right. If you look at the box score, Jordan Davis is not a guy who's going to jump off the screen on the box score. But like, if you watch the tape and you watch him take on a double team so that Jalen Carter runs and has, a single matchup, those are the types of things where if he's taking up 2 blockers and Nakobe Dean is running right off his ass cheeks up into the, into the gap and making a stop, that's the type of effect that a guy like Jordan Davis has. Yeah. But like that, big clap for Vic Fangio, man. Yeah. The way that game, Rich, very easily could have been out of hand real early. The fact that, it very well could have been 14-0. Like, you turn the ball over twice in your, like, pretty much like as close to the fucking red zone as you could possibly be. And you get the opportunity to stop them and hold them to field goals. You're getting the decisive defensive vision from Vic Fangio, and you're getting guys that are flying all over the place. And the Zach Baum was legit all over the field, just getting in the backfield. And they, I think they were able to hold the Packers rush to the bare minimum in the first in the first half. Talk about this. So it's 6-0 at the end of the first quarter. The touchdown pass from Jalen Hurts to Saquon Barkley.
Dude, that was a thing of beauty. That was a thing of beauty. I mean, you know what you're going to get from Saquon coming out of the backfield, but man, that over-the-shoulder throw and the awareness to get the 2 feet in, Jesus Christ. I'm sitting there with Ollie, and I'm like, Ollie, this is the play that we practice in the backyard. Like, this is what we do, the over-the-shoulder, like, turn and catch. I'm like, this is the same play. And he goes, it is. I'm like, yeah, bud. I'm like, it's the same play we run. I'm like, you do the same wheel route, you go out, and I loft it up and see you catch it. And it's funny because, like, relating that and watching the game with him, it's like, it resonates. He wants to watch more. But that thing
was different.
It was beautiful. Like, the touch, the pass, the catch, the everything, the execution. That's the shit that, like, I want to keep seeing because it adds so many dimensions to this offense. And with all the weapons that we have, it's like we could score at will. And we talked about it. 32 points should be our floor. Like, that's how many points that we should score a game.
So, Rich, I'm going to give you a hypothetical here. Like, you scored in this game, you scored 32 points.
Yeah. We could.
Jalen Hurts had two interceptions. He probably could have had 4. We can talk about that in a minute. They had a fumble. So in a game where they turned the ball over twice, they had 3 other times where it could have potentially been turnovers, and you still put up 34 points? Like, you put up 34 points, and this was essentially your warm-up game against a Packers team that is going to be in the top 5 in the NFC. And they now got the injury with Jordan Love, and, if I could, I'm not a betting man, but if I had money, I'd put it on the Colts this weekend because they're going to take on Malik Willis, and that's not going to be pretty.
We all know.
So any kind of money that you can bet on the Colts or the or the under of the Packers, whatever you got to do to play that game, I would parlay about 16 legs on that, and you'd probably be okay. Because Malik Willis is just bad. He's bad. He, at the very least, should be a team's third quarterback, if at all.
Yeah, practice squad.
Like running your practice squad. But let's talk about Jalen Hurts, because you saw a little bit of good. You saw a little bit of What do you take away from this game?
He is Clint Eastwood in the good, the bad, and the ugly. You saw the good,
Okay.
You saw the throws, you saw the bad with the indecisiveness and the opting out of the passes and going for his draw reads, and then you saw the ugly, the turnovers. I mean, the throwing the ball to Devontae Smith when he's surrounded by 4 guys. It's right in
the middle of the field.
Like, how don't you see that? Like, that's just a pass a rookie makes. Like, Jalen, you're past that point in your career to make that throw. And that really did worry me.
The one that interception and the one to AJ Brown in the end zone.
Yeah.
Where he's rolling to his right, throws back across his body into the middle of the field. AJ Brown slips on the shitty turf.
Yeah.
But that interception, that's the one that I was like, that's the one that bothered me the most, because it's later in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You had an opportunity to be up 8, and you turn the ball over and you give them the ball back. It's the timing of it, the decision of it. Like, that's a ball that you're running out of bounds. You chuck it out of bounds. You eat the incompletion. You line up and you kick a field goal. You go up by 8. You force them to have to score a touchdown and kick a field goal. And at that point, like, you give them the ball back, and you're giving them life when you should be putting them away.
Yeah, he needs to be better with just his decision making. I'm chalking this one up to bad field preseason game 1 for them. But no excuses going forward. He should be knowing this offense by now and being able to go through his progression and his reads. I give him a D for a grade. I won't give him anything higher than that because, again, the indecisiveness, the bad throws, throwing the double coverage, throwing across his body. You have too many weapons, man. Look elsewhere. And if there's nowhere else, throw the fucking ball away or tuck and run. Pick one. At that point, scramble, break it down, see what you can do. Stop. We've seen the hero ball with Carson Wentz. I don't fucking want to see Jalen Hurts.
No,
like
and
decisiveness and the live to fight another day. Not
now with the weapons that you have around them, right? You don't have to be a hero ever. Like you literally just have to play point guard.
Yeah.
Like you saw in this game their biggest stars shine bright, right? You see Saquon Barkley he's got 26 touches, he's got 109 yards, he's got the 2 touchdowns rushing, he's got the 1 touchdown receiving. You saw AJ Brown with that enormous catch and run to be able to run the route that he does with the strength that he does.
Yep.
Catch the ball and then be able to just accelerate and just run away from guys.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about guys that are just like chumps. You're talking about elite safety, Xavier McKinney. Who's the other guy? Who's the guy you were talking about?
Jair Alexander.
Like you saw Devontae Smith, right? Doesn't get in the end zone, but those catches on that last drive, right? 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, right? Like big catches to extend drives, get the first downs. I mean, he was just surgical in terms of being able to know what spot he had to get to the spot, catch the ball, get upfield, get the first down, and keep the chains moving. Would I have liked to see, them utilize the middle of the field a little bit more with Dallas Goedert? Yeah, but I think that's coming, right? I think this offense is going to evolve. I remember hearing Kellen Moore talk about in the offseason about like they want to set this offense up so that way when people are starting to game plan and expect one thing, they've already pivoted to the next next phase of it. And I think you saw a little bit of that, right? You saw them run, like go heavy on the run and then play action pass. The motion was exactly what this offense needed last year. And it's amazing to see how astonishing it can be to have not very complicated concepts and how positively they affect the players.
Yeah, I mean, it was not a elementary school offense. It was something that incorporated a ton of motion, putting Devontae Smith in the slot, putting AJ Brown into the slot, the incorporation of Will Shipley running from sideline to sideline to free up the linebacker to see that there's a linebacker playing on Saquon Barkley. Like, good fucking luck. That's not going to ever fucking go well. You're not going to win that one, Mr. Linebacker. Like, it's showing, it's making the defense show their cards, which is, again, giving you an advantage because now you're able to see, okay, you thought it was a zone. All right, now, Jalen, now you know it's a man look. Okay, now you can see where your mismatches are. This is the shit that you expected to see from the Eagles offensive coordinators for years, and we're just seeing it. And now we're seeing everything unfold to the point where they could have hung 55 points up on this team. You take
very
away
easily
drives. That's the max. The min, they could have scored 43. And everybody would be saying, holy fuck, like you're not going to be able to outscore the Eagles. And it's true. And we didn't do it against a slouch team. We did it against a Green Bay Packers team that has weapons on offense, a revamped, very good defense, and we were able to beat them. And to me, it wasn't one of those wins where it was a sure thing. But my God, if we didn't turn the ball over, people would have been looking at the fucking Eagles like, all right, this is the truth. They wouldn't be looking at like Dallas whooping on Cleveland or fucking the Jets getting their dicks blown off by San Fran and everybody's just in a league of their own. It's like, yeah, but the Packers aren't slouch either. Like, they have a really fucking good team. And the Eagles went out there and they handled business. Both sides played on the field. Both sides. I'm just glad it was slippery and not sticky. That when guys were slipping, they weren't getting their cleats caught. They were just falling to the soccer players, and nobody walked away hurt except, the unfortunate injury to Jordan Love. That's an accident. Shit's going to happen. What can you do?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, when you talk about their defensive line is no slouch, right? When you talk about Preston Smith and Kenny Clark and TJ Slayton and Rashawn Gary, like those guys are players. And this offensive line, and a guy that we talked about, all off season when they brought him in, but putting Mekhi Becton in between two guys where he's not on an island anymore, like you saw him be able to be agile, pull.
Good.
Right? He looked good. And you didn't really know what you were going to get, considering he's never really played he's never played inside. But I think you see now how effective he can be when you have mountains of men on that offensive line. And you look at some of the holes that Saquon Barkley is running through when he's running behind.
Oh my God.
That right side of Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton and Lane Johnson, or you run on the left and you're talking about Landon Dickerson and Jordan Mailata. Like, there was so much space that, like, there were so many plays, Rich, that I saw that, like, if it hit like a half a second later, Saquon Barkley's. I get this feeling, Rich, like we're gonna have 2 or 3 like 70, 80-yard runs where they're going to like get the ball, run it on first down. He's going to break through the line, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Like, he's just going to be out because they can spread teams out so much with just the base offense, with just having 2 wide receivers, a running back, and a tight end. And there's really nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do on this team to stop this offense, other than to wait for them to make mistakes. And the quarterback in this offense has to be the point guard. He has to start to realize that he really doesn't. If he just does the basics, man, he will be in it. He could be in the MVP conversation. Because all he's got to do is just drop it and just facilitate it and just make the right plays, make the right reads. And I think you're going to see that. I think you're going to see, as this offense opens up, you're going to see those opportunities for those guys to really kind of get in space and take advantage of each other being on the field.
Don, I hope so, bud. I hope so.
I don't know any other way, right? Like I just, and I mean, you have to go week by week. You have to go opponent by opponent. Talk about some guys on the defense. Nakobe Dean, right? Nakobe Dean gets the start, right? They leave our boy at home. Doesn't even make the play. I know he was injured, but like,
I mean,
that whole situation is very perplexing, to say the least.
Rodgers in the hand. I'm like, I didn't know there was anything wrong with his hand until like the day before. I was like, okay, this is strange. It's crazy that we did that without Devin White and our starting outside cornerback. But Quinyon Mitchell, great. Like we touched on. Ballin was another guy who looked great. CJGJ, he got burned for that one touchdown. He just looked out of position on the one play. Still love having CJGJ. Reed Blankenship, he had the milk check with the interception.
Yeah, that was great.
It's just, that Milt Williams looked good. He was wreaking havoc. It's good to see. And we tip our cap to Fangio because, I'm excited to look forward to, a home game Monday night this week against, the Falcons, which is going to be, the link is going to be electric, especially after losing a home game to Brazil. I mean, but you got to do where the try to make some fucking money, even though I still really don't think half those people cared about fucking football. I don't believe anything they say. I think they were just handing out jerseys and saying, "Here, we're fun. Here, we're Patriots. You like Ravens?" And they're just like, "Sure, okay, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna wear it." But
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool to see them play in Brazil. I just hope never again. But I'm really looking forward to Monday night because I'm excited to see what Devin White brings to this offense, because you saw what Bond was capable of doing this week. You saw Nakobe Dean playing extremely well.
Yeah.
Now adding another third competent linebacker, it's just like, holy fuck. I'm excited to see the season progress and see what Nolan Smith can do. There's just
Mhm.
many endless possibilities on this defense that I'm amped for. But Jalen Carter is going to be my main focus this week. That's the guy I'm
Yeah.
going to because Kirk Cousins this Sunday, like, you can tell he's scared. You can tell he's afraid to put pressure on that Achilles. They're running everything out
Yeah.
of. He does not look content in the pocket, which is going to lead to turnovers. It's going to lead to indecisiveness, getting the ball out quick. So you should see some big plays from the cornerbacks. You should see I'm calling for at least 3 sacks. And I want to see Jalen Carter just manhandle this terrible offensive line and get home. Like, that's what I want to see, and that's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I think for me, like the big takeaway from the defense in terms of what needs to improve, you've got to get pressure off the edge.
Yeah.
And they really didn't have a ton of pressure. Like the guys that were on the field, when you talk about Bryce Huff, and you talk about Brandon Graham, you talk about Milton Williams, and Josh Sweat, like those guys, you didn't really see a whole lot of pressure coming off the edge. And that to me is like, you're going to need pressure. Like, you're going to need Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter to kind of push the pocket, because Kirk Cousins is not going to escape. You want to get him on the move as much as possible, because then you're going to get the pressure coming from the outside. I think more that you can keep Kirk Cousins in the pocket, the more he's just going to be able to stand there and make mistakes.
Yep.
So that to me is the biggest thing I want to see improve. I liked what I saw. You're probably going to see a little bit of you could potentially see a little bit of Isaiah Rodgers this week. I'm curious to see how they start to use Reed Blankenship, or not Blankenship, but
Coop.
Like, I'm curious to see how Cooper DeJean gets used and implemented. Sorry, I got the two white DBs.
You're gonna get them mixed up.
They all look the same.
They all do.
But like, I'm looking at it going, that's what I got to see. I got to see that pressure from the outside. And I think on a faster track, on a field that is designed and meant to have football played on it, that to me is where I'm looking at it going, this is what I want to be seeing from these guys. And the Falcons, I tried to watch that game on Sunday.
Oh my God.
Ooh, that was terrible. That was really, really bad. You get a Steelers team that wasn't really sure what you were going to get out of them. Russell Wilson doesn't play. Justin Fields plays. They win a game and don't score a touchdown. They kick 6 field goals.
Yep.
I don't see anything. Like, you thought that Kirk Cousins was going to be able to kind of, revitalize this offense.
Nope.
And Kyle, you got Kyle Pitts, you got Bijan Robinson, you got Drake London, you got guys there.
Good. Kyle Pitts look good. Like, that was the crazy part. I'm watching the game on Sunday, and like, it's popping up. I'm like, man, Kyle Pitts is their best weapon. Like, Drake London, like, I get, like, Kirk Cousins can't get Drake London the ball. Like, Kirk Cousins looked awful in the pocket. And when the pocket started breaking down around Kirk Cousins, he would just chuck the ball at their offensives, like the receiver or the running back's feet. Like, he does not look safe in the pocket. Like, he looks terrified. Their offensive line is also not good. Their defense, they have a good young defense, but they can't score points. Green Bay also has a good defense, and they can score points. I can honestly go into this week and say, from the quarterback play that I saw last week of Kirk Cousins, I am not afraid of Atlanta. I thought Atlanta was going to be a different team, but Kirk Cousins is not healthy. Kirk Cousins, I believe, probably should have been sitting until week 3 or 4. Michael Penix could have been their option. And then when Kurt is fully confident and healthy in that Achilles, they bring him into play. But right now, he's not giving them a chance to win. And this is a week where the Eagles need to see pressure. I wouldn't mind seeing Cooper DeJean stepping in and being one of those blitzing outside guys. I wouldn't mind,
Yeah, bring him off the edge.
Yo, Josh Sweat, you ain't getting it done. Fucking Coop, get in there. Like, come off the edge. Use your athleticism. Use your speed. Go get him. Like, Josh Sweat has been a disappointment for the past 3 seasons, or the past 2 seasons. And this season, you can't be. But this is his maker. And I was expecting to see more fire lit up under his ass, but I don't think you're going to get much more out of Josh Sweat. I think this is probably going to be his last year. I'm doing this because every time I talk shit on somebody, Don, they prove me wrong. So I can't wait to fucking see it happen. So I'm just going to remember Bryce Harper's MVP year. Bryce Harper, he's not going to, he can't live up to the contract. Come on, Josh. Just do the opposite of what I'm saying. I just want outside pressure. I want to see Nolan Smith getting home and hitting the quarterback. I miss the days of old where you had D'Amico Ryans, you had Trent Cole, you have Jeremiah, like a linebacker just blitzing and just smacking the shit out of a fucking quarterback.
Yeah, I think you see. I think that's what I'm expecting to see. I'm expecting to see a ton of pressure. And Rich, if it means anything, Kirk Cousins' record on Monday nights
is 0-1,
3-10,
3-10.
In primetime games, he's 12-20.
That's
ironically, Rich, I don't know where I saw this. Is this the third consecutive year that he's played in the Eagles home opener?
Is it?
Play for they played the Vikings the last 2 years
in the home opener.
In the home opener, maybe. Am I making that up?
I don't know. I didn't think they would play him twice.
I feel like I'm making that up, maybe.
Because we wouldn't be playing the NFC North twice.
I don't know. I feel like I'm making that up.
Flop last.
Did that happen last year? Did it happen recently? Didn't they play the Vikings in the opening game after they went to the Super Bowl?
Yes, with Justin Jefferson. Yes, because watching Justin Jefferson play, and Justin Jefferson was cooking, and they still lost. I think he had 11 catches for 118 yards, and they still. I think that was last year. I think it was last year, but the year before that, I don't think he played in their opener.
Yeah, I don't know.
Adam's
going down to the game. Listen, I think you're looking at it. To me, I'm looking at this team, and I'm going. I gotta see a big night from the defense. I think this is like a 3+ turnover night. I think they get. I'm going to go 3+ turnovers, 3+ sacks.
I like that.
I think this is a big defensive night, and I think it's I think this is a night, and this is not like a get right, but I think this is a flex night.
Okay.
I think this is a flex on all levels. I think they put up a ton of points, and I think this is a big night from the defense. So I'm going 3+ sacks, 3+ turnovers, and I'm going 35-10 Birds.
I like it. I'm going to say defense. I want to see at least 3 sacks, but I'm going to say you got defense gets 5 sacks. Jalen Carter gets 2 of them.
Okay.
We got 2 picks, 1 a pick 6. Quinyon Mitchell, pick 6. So we got 2 pick 6s, and the Eagles win 42-12. But the Falcons do not score a touchdown.
Nice. I like it. Field goals only. Rich, around the NFL.
Yeah.
Talk to me about around the NFL. Talk to me about what you saw in week 1.
Oh, man, Aaron Rodgers only looking to the left side of the field while he was playing quarterback, which was absolutely strange on Monday night. The Jets don't have a pass rush. And it's hilarious because Hassan Reddick's just sitting out there. So that's great. They think they're having Super Bowl aspirations. They don't look good at all. Minnesota, Sam Darnold, surprising.
Seriously.
Seeing Sam Darnold, I was not ready for that. The whatchamacallit, what was I going to say? Oh man, Tua threw a pick. Yeah, that's on right now. It was actually a deflection, but that's dog shit. Yeah, the Dolphins were kind of weird. They were a weird one, especially being down to Jacksonville. That was just a strange game altogether. And my not shocking one was Cincinnati losing to New England. Yes, they were my survivor pool pick, but Cincinnati is a bad, Cincinnati's a bad fucking team.
Yeah, they're bad.
There's no way to put it. The Texans look great.
Really good.
Joe Mixon looked like,
Joe Mixon looked like the missing piece.
Yeah,
he looks like you've now you pair him with Stephon Diggs and C.J. Stroud and Joe Mixon now, and you've got yourself a really, really nice collection of talent. And I love D'Amico Ryans as a coach.
I do too. I would play for him in a heartbeat. That's why I'm like a closeted Houston, Texas fan, because I just love watching that team. C.J. Stroud, Nico, Tank, fucking Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs, they looked good and they're well coached. And that's what you want to see, especially for a young, up and coming quarterback in CJ Stroud. This guy is going to be a long time and he is going to get the fucking bag. Anthony Richardson, 9-19, didn't like the numbers, missed on 2 bombs. Take the 2 bombs away, he has an abysmal day.
Right.
He needs to work on his accuracy because his accuracy is absolutely trash.
And he's got some weapons, and he's got weapons too, right? He's got the opportunity to be able to, essentially play point guard. But the Panthers are bad. The Giants are bad.
If the Panthers don't season, because
it's all good.
What'd you say?
I couldn't shut the phone off.
Oh, it's all right. I thought you were going to answer. All right, go ahead, Don. Take.
I should have. It was spam.
I gotta love spam. Could have put them on the pod. See what their take is. How do you feel about Chicago? I think the Bears' offense looked atrocious. Caleb Williams.
Ew.
Did not look impressive whatsoever. Again, it was his first game, jitters. And I love what the Tennessee Titans coach said. If we just punted the ball every time on 1st and 10, we would have won the game.
Oh, man, I missed that.
Yeah, the coach said if we would just punt the ball on 1st and 10, we would have won the game. Because their offense did blow the game for them. They're up 17-0, 24-17, because of their fucking quarterbacks, which is absolutely insane. Dallas, what are you going to say?
Listen, Dallas gave Dak a giant pile of money. But it's hard to say that because the Browns the Browns are coming off being the number 1 defense last year and looking really impressive on defense, but Dallas looked impressive. And I think you found out in week 1 that it's going to be a 2-team race, right? This division is the Eagles and Cowboys on one side and the Giants and the Commanders, like 3 or 4 planets away. And to me, in a sense, Rich, that's exciting because that now those games, when they match up, those games are going to be meaningful. That those games are going to be battles.
Daniel Jones.
But Daniel Jones is bad. He's bad, and he's getting paid a shit ton of money.
Shit ton of money to be terrible. Marvin Harrison Jr. That was weird.
That was really weird. He looked like confused and out of place and slow and
his tape did not look good.
It not even did look good, Bridge. It looked bad.
I was like, what happened to Marvin Harrison? And I'm trying to think. Anything else that was surprising?
Lions, Rams.
It was a great game.
That was a really, really good game to watch. Goes into overtime. The Bucks Commanders, Baker Mayfield has a big stat day, but the Commanders are just bad.
The Commanders
like that to me is like a I think the Bucks are a team that probably win this. They win the NFC South.
Yeah.
They're gonna have good stats. They're gonna have good. They're gonna have good days. Like Baker Mayfield throws for 289 and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right, but that's not surprising considering you're playing against a team that's like really, really trash. But you've got good vets there, right? You've got Godwin and you've got Mike Evans. It's going to be an interesting race. But Rich, my biggest takeaway out of all this, there's a lot of bad quarterbacks in the NFL. Like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Gardner Minshew is ass.
Bad. Let's
see. Gardner Minshew.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Go ahead.
NFL, just to go through. Where is this? All right. So, after week 1, Lamar Jackson number 1, Prescott number 2, Josh Allen number 3. This is an old list. Sorry, that's me being stupid.
That's from 2019. It's okay.
Yeah, that's an old list. Here we go.
Peyton Manning number 1. Yeah, he's still good, Don. He's still good.
All right, so you tell me where this is. So in the AFC, right? You've got Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, all good, right?
I'm not putting Burrow in a good conversation.
No, he's in the eh.
He's in the eh.
Okay, Deshaun Watson is ass.
Oh, he's fucking terrible. I'm not even.
He's shitty with a bullet.
Yeah. Shitty person. Quarterback.
Bo Nix.
Nah.
Don't know enough about him.
Yeah. No.
But like CJ Stroud.
Yes.
Good calm, right? So we've got 4 guys at this point. Anthony Richardson.
I don't know yet.
Right. Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is Daniel Jones with a decent head of blonde hair.
Yeah. Yeah. I would put him in the eh.
You've got Mahomes, right? Who's
elite.
Herbert. Tua. Jacoby Brissett, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields, Will Levis.
S.
Right. You've got 5.
Yeah, 5 in the AFC.
5 in the AFC. All right, NFC. Kirk Cousins, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams. S.
Yeah, Kyler looked terrible.
It's a lot of peach emojis.
Yeah.
You got Dak Prescott, Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Right now you had Jordan Love, but you got Malik Willis, who's booty cheeks.
I'm not even worried about Malik Willis, and they're going to put him in any conversation.
Right. Jordan Love, we'll see when he comes back, but you don't know how long he's going to be out, right? They said, it could be, what they say, 3 to
6 weeks, but they left
3 to 6
opportunity open for him to play this week. Okay.
All right. You got Stafford.
Yeah.
Right. Derek Carr, Daniel Jones.
No.
Right.
Right. Yeah, Derek Carr did look good Sunday, but again, it was Carolina.
We're legit talking about Carolina and the Giants. I don't know. I think at the end of the season, Rich, you just have them to play for the number 1 pick.
Yeah. Whoever wins.
I got a better idea. You ready? The NFL pivots, and the Giants and Panthers play every week
until the draft.
They just play every week.
And
they're just that bad.
Every week you take a guy off the field.
And if I remember correctly, Rich, they are playing in one of the international games One of the international games, I'm pretty sure,
I think they're
is
playing. It's
in Germany.
yes, it's both of them, right? Aren't they both playing each other? Yeah,
They're
it's
playing the Panthers Giants is in Germany.
and somebody said this is the last punishment America's giving Germany for World War II.
Oh God.
Yeah,
That's
the Germany.
okay.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
All right. So you got Hurts, Brock Purdy,
Yeah,
right? Geno Smith,
Gino looked good last week.
right? Looked decent week 1. Baker Mayfield, and then Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, and yeah, I'll go yeah and yeah.
Right. So
Daniels is good, but I mean he has no offensive weapons and that defense is ass, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
And Baker is serviceable, and he looked good. Their offense actually looked good this weekend. So I'm going to say, yeah, this is justification for Browns being douchey.
Here you go. Adam with dropping the knowledge. He can get tickets for the Panthers game for $2.80.
In Germany? I might take it up on that. Just fuck it. Yeah, dude.
Listen.
I if you're down 30-0 in the first game at halftime, just forfeit your season. That Young trade is looking worse and worse and worse by the day.
Oh, you talking about the Bryce Young trade? Because there's one last thing I wanted to touch on before we jump out of here. So the Bryce Young trade versus the Deshaun Watson trade.
Oh, they're both fucking terrible.
So the Bryce Young trade. Hold on. All right. So the Bryce Young trade. Here we go. So the recap of this. The Bears get the number. So the Bears end up getting DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, Caleb Williams, Torrey Taylor, and another second-round pick for Bryce Young. Bad, right? So that trade, all right, versus.
And Bryce, it's not your fault, buddy.
No, it's not. It's not his fault. But hold on. The trade to the Browns. Here we go. I need the image. So hold on.
The kid.
I'm trying to pull it off of Reddit here. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
The Texans got a first-round pick, a fourth-round pick. So that first-round pick became one of their guards, Kenyon Green.
Okay.
They drafted Dameon Pierce. The first-round pick that they got became Will Anderson Jr.
Jesus Christ.
The third-round pick became Tank Dell. The first-round pick that they traded to Minnesota became Kwame Lassiter. The sixth-round pick became Jamel Hill. The fourth-round pick became Caden Bullock.
Wow.
The Browns got Deshaun Watson.
And a $74 million cap hit next year and a $76 million cap hit the year after.
I mean, which trade is worse? Good Lord.
I mean, the worst trade is, the Carolina trade just is terrible because it set your franchise back even longer. And you did nothing to address the offensive line or weapons at wide. Yeah, Deontay Johnson. Great. You got a guy who runs 3 routes and is not a deep threat. What's the fucking point of that signing? You have no help. And you can't even get the ball to him because there's no fucking time to throw. And Bryce Young just looks terrified. He's also like 120 pounds, which is so strange. You didn't draft offensive linemen out the ass to protect him. And then you trade away Brandon Burns, who is your best.
Oh, Brian Burns, yeah. But he looked like shit this weekend, too. He got shut down all weekend.
Him and Thibodeau. Thibodeau was just avoiding answering questions. Like, they're fucking assholes. Like, you play on a fucking bad team. At least fucking try. Like, fucking try. I'm going to say the worst trade is definitely the Carolina trade because it set them back.
Yeah, they were bad and got worse.
Yeah, they went.
And you traded away the future number 1 overall pick. Like you could have had the number 1 overall pick the following year.
Yeah.
And the fact that you made that trade and didn't put any kind of protections in there so that it was like first pick, top 3 protected. That's just bad.
Football Don.
Ah, man. Listen, Rich, you have any feelings on Christian McCaffrey not disclosing because I got, not that I was going to win the game, but I really would have liked to know, because considering the guy knew on Friday, like I would have loved the heads up sooner than an hour and a half before the fucking game.
It was strange. And I'm going to say, yes, I think there's something that needs to be looked into. I think Kyle Shanahan is an asshole for leaving his fucking player out on an island. Jordan Mason just came off the fucking best day of his career. And for them to say, like, oh, well, when did you know? And he's Friday, and that's what they ask him about, and like they make him feel like absolute dog shit. Fucking stop.
Right.
Like, come on, man. Like, that was, don't fucking do that to the guy. And I'm not a 49ers guy. Like, I don't like the 49ers. But, like, come on, man. Like, he's a human. He was caught up in the moment. I knew I was starting Friday. Maybe the coach just said, just be ready on Friday. Maybe he didn't say that. But also, I think it just gives you a competitive edge, because it was kind of weird that all of a sudden he's just out. Like, nobody fucking saw that happening. So I would investigate and look into it, because I think there's something deeper than it. But, like, leave Jordan Mason alone. He's a young kid. Let the fucking kid play. Like, come on.
I hear you.
It's the game 1. You're going against the Jets. If you really want, like, come on, man. Christian McCaffrey doesn't need to play till week 4. Like, let's be real. Like, you're in position to win the first 3 games without him. Let him rest. It's Achilles tendonitis. It's a calf strain. That shit flares up. You don't want him
100%.
to be. If you have Super Bowl aspirations and you have a capable back in Jordan Mason, Christian McCaffrey can afford to miss time. Like,
yeah, I mean, listen, they didn't look like they missed a beat.
Not at all. I mean,
so,
and even with Brandon Ayuk looking like trash, they didn't look like they missed one beat at all.
Not at all, Rich. What do we got for final thoughts?
Oh, man, final thoughts. So, it's the shit that you hate to see. And what I hate to see is bullying and what bullying comes down to. School shooting that was in Georgia, and in Jersey over here in the neighboring towns, there was a call-in for multiple school shooters and stuff like that, where they had to shut down the thing because kids on TikTok are doing dumb shit, which is so fucking stupid. Oh, let's do a trend. Let's call in fucking shooting threats and bomb. Like, you guys are fucking idiots. You're 12-year-old kids who are going to get tried for terroristic threats. Like, you need to know better. But, you know, Ollie came home today and he had like a packet, and I was reading it. And it was all about like bullying. Not like he was being bullied or anything, but like what to do if like you see it and all that. So like having the conversation with him, like, you know, I was bullied as a kid, and he goes, why? I'm like, well, I had a bowl cut and orange pants. I'm like, and I was weird. I'm like, so maybe I deserved it. But I'm like, the one thing you do when someone's bullying you, just smile in their face so they know that they don't get you. But, you know, bullying doesn't stop when you're a kid. It continues when you get older. And I fucking hate it. It takes nothing to be kind. It takes nothing to be nice. I am a ball buster. I am one of those people who will bust your balls, but I only do it to people I like. If I don't mess with you, I don't like you. I just will tell you how it is, and that's how all my friends are, and that's how everybody knows me. I'm going to relentlessly pick on you, but it's not out of malicious stuff. It's out of love, because that's my love. My love language is sarcasm and just cracking jokes and making you laugh and pissed off at the same time. But I hate bullies. I hate seeing kids get bullied. Who Jamie's coworker's son's best friend, 15 years old, you know, ended his own life. And, you know, that those parents are without a kid, you know, that kid's without his best friend. You know, the world's not a better place. And all because of this cyberbullying and people just, you know, posting whatever the fuck they want or saying whatever the fuck they want at school. And it's just like, it's sad, man. Like, these kids don't understand, and this shit doesn't matter. What people say to you in school, what people think of you in high school, that's not it. That's not the end of you. That's the beginning of you. Things get so much better once you leave high school and actually never see those fucking idiots that you're stuck with again, who you spent 4 years with, who made your life miserable. And I had to tell Ali today, I'm like, people will make fun of you because of your hair. They'll make fun of you because of your shoes, because of, the clothes you wear, because they're jealous, they're unloved, or they hate themselves. The people who pick on you fucking hate themselves. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
Be positive. Be kind to people. Be nice. And, save a fucking life, man. Like, these kids shouldn't be going down this road and, bringing guns to school. Like, I worry for my son who goes to school. I worry for Don, you're a teacher. I worry for everybody because it's supposed to be a safe place. It's supposed to be a safe haven. And you don't want to see anything happen to people you love. And you also don't want to see people bullied. Like, there's more to life than outside of school. And then your your reputation. It's just high school. People are going to call you names. People are going to say things, but that's not you. Like, end bullying, end stupid fucking gun violence. Like, it's fucking sad, man. Like, you feel bad for people like that. But, you want to say, can we all just get along? We fucking can't. But I hate bullies, man. Just don't do it. Take that. To be the one who sticks up for him. Take the effort to be the one who's kind. I tell my son, I'm like, bud, you see somebody getting picked on, stick up for him. Everybody needs a friend. Even if it's for that moment. Everybody needs a friend because it's a trickle-down effect. You have somebody's back, and they have your back. And then other people see that, and they're like, oh, man, I'm going to ride with that kid. That kid just stuck up for him. I'm going to stick up for him. That's high school. That was my whole life. When I got picked on in middle school and I saw people getting picked on in high school, I picked on those people. Those people had my back. And then when I got picked on or someone tried to come after me, somebody else had my back because we look out for each other.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do? It takes nothing to be kind. Be kind.
Yeah.
End this stupid shit. I'm sick of it. It makes me so sad.
Yeah, Rich, there was another one of those situations. There was a situation in Wissahickon today. Same thing, right? There are threats. They search the building. They evacuate the building. They find stuff. To me, I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, but I know whatever we're doing isn't the answer.
Yeah.
And truly something that we've talked about, something that, has been since the pandemic more highlighted is I really do think that there needs to be an effort placed on mental health, especially with our youth, and starting them early in that process of identifying that it's okay to talk to somebody, identifying what those feelings are, having people and support in their lives that can help, because those people will eventually grow up to be adults, and you want them, if you're not investing in them, this could be a potential way that you could positively affect somebody's life. And I don't know, like, there is this is hard because there's not like a magic, like, do this and everything happen, and everything's right. But there are positive things that we can do in our everyday life that can positively affect somebody else, and let that trickle down, and let that positively affect somebody else, and hopefully that somehow makes the world a better place. And
Great.
I just, Adam, listen, I hate to say this, but the fact that this stuff goes on and it happens with the frequency that we can't keep up with where and when it happens, because it's happening so often, that should be a signal that that's a problem. And it should be a signal to, and listen, I don't care what side you're on, but there are people that are in positions to be able to make decisions where it would make and decrease the chances of this stuff happening. And it seems like it's like status quo. And I don't remember the country. I want to say it was New Zealand. New Zealand had a mass shooting at some point.
Australia.
Next day, they recall all of the types of weapons that were used. Next day, wasn't a question. It was just universal. Where the fact that we're still having these conversations about whether or not we should or we shouldn't, and we seem to kind of like just stick our head in the sand and just pray that it doesn't affect us.
Yeah.
Just stupid. It's a stupid way to handle the idea of keeping each other safe.
Yeah. No, Don, I agree 1,000%.
So on that note.
Oh, well, thanks for hanging out with us. Ready.
Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it.
And that's Don. We're drunk on broad. And as always, you stuck around, you fucked around, you found out. I'm going to give a big shout out to our boy, Deshaun Watson, who did it again. You piece of shit. You are an awful human being and a terrible fucking quarterback. And I wish you nothing but life and hell. So bless you for that. Fuck Dallas, as always. Fuck Dallas. And let's go Birds, baby. Let's go Birds. Done.
Rich, before we jump out, we got to give a go Birds to our boy Mike Giletto.
Yeah, Mike, congratulations on the boy, bro.
Mike Giletto with the clan. He's building his own personal ice hockey team over in South Jersey.
I love it. Done.
Congratulations to Mike and his family. You got the new addition to their family, so they're I'm sure they're all excited. Mike's got a crew of 4. So congratulations to Mike and go Birds.
Don, you forgot what's our offensive player of the game. We only did defense.
Oh, we only did defense? Oh shit.
Yeah. So let's get it.
Get it on the record. You know what? Fuck it. Saquon Barkley. 3 tutties. Again. I'm gonna say that Saquon Barkley, this is another one of my season-long predictions. Saquon Barkley individually outscores and has more touchdowns than the entire Giants offense combined all year.
I love that.
All year. Combined rushing and receiving.
I love that. Saquon Barkley, 32 touches, 202 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Calling it.
Let's go. Book it.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Philadelphia Eagles